has been raining for the past few days, but today is just glorious, so I wouldn't want to be wasting this. In the last episode, I've been working on the spot along the fence, which is the Patreon shrine, and I've been improving on it a lot. I've added a bunch of bowls, staged them all around. From there, what I need to do is detail work. But before I get there, I'm thinking of working on this spot for now. So I'm thinking of preparing some of the plants here for the deeper part of winter, the colder parts. And to do that, I would need to reorganize some of the bits at the back. And I was thinking that maybe I should be mounding that spot, because from here, the rains are only going to be worse. And I've got a few plants that I want to put in there, which are quite young. So it only makes sense that I fix the soil now while I have the chance. As mentioned in previous episodes, I'm going to create a mound at the back, and to do that, I'm going to use some of Tuscan rock, create a border around it, then backfill with a lot of soil, then plant in it. Basically, I'm creating a raised garden bed within this garden. Of course, first step, clearing the area up, and we're going to do that now. I've got a barbellion here, and this used to be much larger because in one of the past episodes I reset this together with the afterglow, and it looks like it's only starting to recover now. And right next to it is this verrugas, and I believe this is another Gibiflora hybrid, which means that, so like this one, this is also going to be huge. I was originally thinking of placing 3 plants at the back, so that would be the barbellion, this verrugas, and maybe the Paul Bunyan. But since they are all giant cultivars, there might not be enough space. So at the moment, I'm thinking just these 2. But we'll have a look later on. But let's revisit that idea later on once I've created the raised garden bed. But let's get these plants out for now. Thick root system, so this is really good. I think it's only been about 2 months or a month since I beheaded this. So this is really impressive.
I always back down as soon
This is the important part. The soil acts like a mortar, holding them together. So if you're familiar with mortar, bricks and mortar, then the principle is exactly the same. What I'm doing is I'm bringing the soil really close to the rocks to hold them in place, especially once I water them later on. They would be set like cement. And this is why I would need to fill this up, maybe make even a smaller mound on top of this. Just so, since I have a very loose soil medium here, once they settle, it will be going down a bit. So I need to add more soil than the level here. Echeveria glauca, Echeveria elegans, the blue chalk sticks, the sedum blue feather, and there's still a bunch of others here that I haven't propagated yet. So there's lots of material to play with. I just have to figure out how to arrange them. So I'll be doing this by texture. Sedums are generally active during this time of year, during winter. So I hope that in the coming months there would be lots more plant material for me to work with. Otherwise, I would just have to go around the nurseries and hunt for them. This will be fun. Now, in order for the soil to set and harden this barrier, I would need to water them now, spray some water, soak them. That way some of the soil will flow into the gaps and cement it in place. So with that said, I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Same old thing. Different day.
Same old thing, boy.
Hello, Sir Bill.
Boring.
No, I don't think so. We're gonna talk about cactus, so it's never gonna be boring.
Same old thing. Yeah, Brian isn't here this
All right, well, we'll look around and
Yeah.
Brian gets here, we'll go. All right. We'll pick up the specimens in the ground.
Yeah, there you go.
Hello, plant friends. Welcome to episode 2 of my California Dreaming series. This time, I will be bringing you to Putz's Cactus Nursery in Ripon, California. The father and son tandem of Bill and Brian Putz will tour me and Kitoy around their nursery. So enjoy! By the road, you will be greeted by huge specimens of saguaro and other cacti. Most cacti are endemic in the United States. When you enter Putz's, you'll be amazed with a well-curated arid garden, showcasing amazing specimens planted on the ground.
my pregnant lady.
Oh wow!
Right?
There you go. That'd be good for you. Oh, that's your private collection.
Yeah, that's my wife's.
This part of their nursery is their selling area. You will see different kinds of cactus and succulent that are for sale. Getting tired yet? Well, at this point, I am just so overwhelmed. Here, Brian is going to tour us around the nursery, even to the restricted area. So, don't quit yet. There's a lot more.
Tucson after that's over.
Oh, okay.
But I want to try to go to Miles.
Yeah.
And then what's the other place? Arid Adaptions. You know it?
Arid adaptation.
It's what's his name? Jeff Moore. Not the
guy,
not
the other
not
guy.
the Jeff Moore that's in California. This
Yeah.
is Jeff Moore in Arizona.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go to those Monday, Tuesday next week.
Yeah.
Wow, you have huge opuntias here.
Yeah, we got some big ones. So yeah, if you want to look through here, you can.
Nice.
Do you cover that?
Yeah. Mainly to keep the water off the seed pods.
Yeah.
You know, as you get ribs everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, anything that's got the white those on it, cover with plastic filter.
Yeah. Just keep it dry.
Yeah.
So, do you pollinate them yourselves, or you
Some
just
of
have the
them-
bees?
a lot of it's open pollinated.
Open pollinated.
Yeah.
So please bear with me, guys, because I'm going to walk you through row by row, because I don't want to miss anything. I may not be. I was actually unable to absorb it at the time that I was there, but you know, I want to make sure I capture it on video to share it with you.
Yeah, and half of it is underneath the tables now for the winter
Oh yeah.
inside.
Oh.
This thing was packed full.
I wish we can bring those in the Philippines, huh?
Yeah.
You know, we can.
Yeah, probably need to have a lot of
Oh,
green.
the other people with you guys, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably bought like a whole bunch of these and then.
So this is the private area?
Yeah.
They're not selling it to
Well, you can ask. In general, this is propagation.
you? Propagation area. So is this where you got your echeverias?
No, I got
No.
Home Depot.
Oh, the old school.
Well, because we had to transplant all these, so we kind of moved everything out and put them all over here.
Yeah.
And then we transplant all the Copipoas, so we need more room over there. That's why they got all moved over here.
They went from 15 feet to 40 feet.
Yeah.
Just transplanting.
Yeah, wait, I just gotta move everything up.
Oh, yeah. There's so many Indians that we never even touched.
This is a coveted one.
Yeah. Everybody likes that one.
With the white rhino.
Yeah.
So you only have one here, or you have propagation?
We only have, well, there's two more babies.
Oh, okay. But this is your mother
Yeah.
plant. Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
price tag there in the Philippines.
Yeah, I know. I'd like to get more, but they've gotten so expensive over here too. It's ridiculous.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But where is it originally from?
I'm not sure who originally came up with it.
It's all organized.
Okay.
My size.
Yeah.
And even those gigas.
yeah. Oh, that's just a baby. You see our big ones. a little
Oh, yeah,
farther
bigger
down.
ones there?
Yeah.
Oh.
We got Euphorbia columnaris on their own roots.
Yeah.
That's a rare one.
Oh.
Usually you see them grafted.
Yeah. This one too. I bet this one is from seeds, right?
Yeah.
Or from you got it from the wild, or
No, that was started from seed.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
40
nice.
years ago.
this how long you've started?
My dad started 44 years ago.
44 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow. This one is pretty
Yeah,
rare
potato
too.
cactus.
Yeah.
And these are
So
some.
it's
These
like-
are some of the cyphostemas that everybody really likes.
Yeah.
Siena.
Yeah. Is it the one who gets red as well when it's stressed? No.
Not that I've really seen.
Mm-hmm. But they're the ones who got wider codex.
Yeah.
Oh, oh my gosh. I did not see that coming. So they told me it has like a male female, so you can pollinate it. So you
Yeah.
have a male female here, or you just pollinate?
Yeah, I think we've gotten seed off of this one.
Okay.
So far we haven't gotten seed off any of the other ones,
Okay.
but they just started blooming last year.
Okay.
Um,
So you propagate either through seeds or you just do cuttings?
we
or-
haven't done cuttings yet. I mean, you can, but
Yeah.
we're mainly just trying to get seed off them
Seed off them.
instead of hacking them all up.
Yeah. Because they say it's
We
hard.
haven't been able to get any seed off of ours yet. I don't think it's big enough yet.
Okay. So it's good you inherited the love for cactus from
Yeah.
your father. So I guess you've been collecting since.
Yeah, I mean, I've been raised with it my whole life, so
Cool. This one's probably how many years already?
oh boy, that's probably
15, 20?
20, 25 years.
20, 25
I
years.
mean, we got them from somebody else, and they were already decent size.
Yeah.
And it's funny, the color differentiation.
Mm-hmm.
The other guy that had it, he had a high iron content in his water,
Mm-hmm.
and so it turned everything brown.
Okay.
And once we got it, we don't have that, and so everything stays
Oh,
yellow.
yellow, yeah. Okay. So it really depends on the water that you give them.
Yeah. Like the old man, the Cephalocercinillus,
Mhm.
he had one. You know, it was solid white when he got it, and within a couple of months of him watering
Brown.
it, it turned all the hair brown.
Yeah. So I initially thought it was because of, dirty air or something like that. But then
Yeah.
I found out it's really in the water that
Yeah.
you use. So. Cool. Oh, you have a lot of this too here.
Yeah. We had a really big plant. You know, it was probably this big,
Mhm.
and it was just covered in babies.
Mm-hmm.
And one winter, a peach worm got into the very tip of it
Mhm.
and drilled into it, and it rotted the main plant out.
Okay.
So we pulled all the babies off, and that's what all these are from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Too bad. So you also do propagations through seeds.
Yeah. So like these are all seedlings from last year that will start taking apart,
Okay.
and then this is our seed bench. Where we propagate a lot of seeds.
Oh, nice. So Astrophytum you got here. Euphorbias.
Yeah, we just planted probably 20, 25 different varieties of Copiapoa seed this
Mhm.
year.
So
So
you also do hybrid, or
not
like
really.
do you cross them? Or
No, not too much.
Not too much. Yeah, because in the Philippines, we usually get most of our cactus from Thailand,
Okay.
and they are very fond of doing hybridization there.
Yeah.
So
The only hybrids that we've really done or crosses is the Luctemburgia with the Ferrocactus, and then you get what they call a Ferroburgia.
oh, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, there's one. We have some down at the other end. I'll show you what it looks like.
Okay. And even aloes. So we have a lot of aloe hybrids
Yeah.
there in the Philippines.
Yeah, there's a lot here too.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, they keep coming out with new ones because one of the biggest aloe hybridizers is in California, in Southern
Yeah.
California.
Yeah.
So,
Is that in LA or?
yeah.
So you just keep that fan going all throughout the day?
Yeah, trying to pull in cooler air to keep keep a little cooler in here.
Yeah.
of the Alta Prairie.
Yeah. I think the biggest I saw this would probably be like this one.
Yeah. Well, when I got that plant, it was maybe one stalk this big.
Okay.
That was.
And then it branches out from
Yeah.
there. We have a lot of euphorbias.
Yeah, and actually, I have most of our euphorbia medusoids at my house.
Okay.
So I can kind of have more time to propagate, pollinate and stuff.
Nice. Oh, okay.
Because you really got to pollinate those in order to get seed off of them.
Yeah.
So.
Right. So you don't have natural pollinators here?
Not for the euphorbias, not really.
So for like this one, it already has a lot of pups. Do you get a male and female from there, or it's all going to be male, or it's going to be all
No, I think
female?
we have seen both flowers on that one.
Oh, okay.
And typically, yeah, it's one or the other.
One or the other.
Yeah, euphorbia sepulta there. It's not really well.
Oh, what's that? Sepulta. So, what temperature do you usually keep them?
In the winter, we try to keep this around 45 degrees or so.
So where do we go to get some seed off of this thing?
We probably haven't, I just haven't seen it.
So, what is this one?
Euphorbia hamada.
Ooh.
Look at
Never
the
seen one that
stalks on
size,
that.
No, no.
Yeah, you're lucky if you see a few branches.
Yeah, I know.
Nothing like that.
And this thing almost got messed up this year because this plant here, it was all the way up to the top of the greenhouse, and it fell over and it knocked this thing off the table.
Oh my gosh.
Luckily, it didn't damage it too bad.
Wow. Good stuff. So do you also have the black one?
No,
No.
I don't know if I've ever seen the black one.
Yeah, there is. This is the ZZ plant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you trying to arrange the hair?
Well, of course. Every once in a while I get my comb out, I'm like, I got a comb.
Wow, this one's very big too.
Yeah. Except for a cactus.
Yeah. Trying to pick one.
Big one.
Pick one. Oh, this one is good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mariaceres marginalis.
Yeah, crusted.
Yeah.
Oh, this has grown big. Do you also trim the stems?
For us,
Do you
they
prune
die
it?
back in the winter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it
it's-
dies back
Yeah, so it's
naturally.
just a bulb in the winter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice colors. Wow. Oh, you also do Haworthias?
Yeah, these are all variegated truncatas.
Yeah.
This one I got the two spot, I got one done.
We're just keeping these to let them make bigger clumps so we can tear them apart, and that way we got more variegated.
More
ones.
variegated ones, yeah. And then you'll just segregate which ones as the
Yeah,
better variegation.
yeah.
You also have a lot of this here.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of collectors here as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
California is probably the mecca of the cactus industry.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, especially LA. You know,
Yeah.
they have the biggest shows down there.
Yeah.
Most collectors are probably down there.
Okay. Oh, you also have the whale fin.
Yeah.
What is this?
I don't know if that one's got a tag in or not. My dad probably. Oh, here it is.
Oh, there you go.
Hemanthus, I think. Yeah.
Ooh, how nice. Nice. It doesn't look like it belonged here.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It feels like this should be like a water lily or something.
Yeah. Definitely looks different.
Nice. What about this one, this big one?
Apophyllacearia, Madagascar.
Yeah. This is a bit rare too.
Yeah. I have a bigger one down at the end.
Oh, okay. The one I saw from the Philippines, I think, was just like a branch like.
Oh yeah.
And then you can already join them in shows because it's very rare.
Oh yeah.
Wow, this one.
Yeah, it's the old flower bloom.
Is this the
That's the flower off of it.
of this one?
Yeah.
What? For sure?
Yep.
From where? It just comes
in
out
a
here?
stalk out of there, and we just, when it died, we just left the flower stalk there.
Oh, very nice.
And then each one of these typically has a seed in it. See, there's one seed in here,
Okay.
but a lot of them didn't have any seed.
Oh, okay. Nice. And you have this one again,
Yeah.
the one that you have in front there. Oh. This is asking for a repot.
Yeah, definitely.
This one is nice. I think I saw this one time. This is the purple farm.
Yeah.
Do you have one of these for sale there?
I think there might be one out there.
Oh, Gasterias.
Yeah.
I don't have a good chance with Gasteria
Oh, yeah?
for some reason. I know that they're better left alone. For some reason, it's just not. I'm not very lucky with it.
Is it the roots rotting off, or?
It doesn't grow any roots at
Oh,
all. I
really?
think, yeah, for some reason, I'm not sure. It's like it's just going to stay there. It's gonna pop, but the root is really not binding to the medium.
Yeah.
So I'm not
Huh.
sure. Sorry guys, at this point, I just ran out of battery and I have to go back.
They have a lot of mellows over there. Yeah.
Mellows, yeah.
So these are Ferrobergias.
Ooh,
So
first time I
it's
saw
a
that.
cross between this and this.
And then you get this one?
Yeah.
Nice looking, huh?
Yeah, it's awesome.
So here is it again, the monkey tail. I'm not sure what you call them here.
Monkey tails.
Monkey tails.
Yeah. Yes, we just transplanted all of our copipoas, and it goes from here all the way to the end of Greenhouse now.
Oh, nice. This is a good one. Regine.
Yeah.
This one is selling like crazy in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there's
But
some-
they have the more globular ones. The circle ones. They have, right? Yeah. Crazy ones. Yeah. So how do you pollinate them? Do you just like brush it?
Yeah, you will paint brushes. And if we want to cross them, we'll cross the pollen
Okay,
between
yeah.
them.
And then come what may, what's going to be reversal?
Yeah.
Big ones. In the Philippines, it's more of like, they are looking for variegations and
Yeah.
stuff because most of it is coming from Thailand. So
Okay.
we are getting a lot of those from them.
I'd like to see more of the Astrophytum hybrids get over here.
Oh,
We don't. They're hardly over here at all.
What's
really?
The
Astrophytum hybrids?
that? Oh yeah, yeah. I was talking to your dad about that.
Yeah,
too.
it's like, you hardly see any. They're
Oh.
just now starting to
Yeah,
make it
just,
over here.
just starting, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, because there was a few at the convention for sale,
yeah.
but yeah, not many.
Yeah, I like the Kaiko, I think is.
Yeah, Kiko.
Yeah, that's about
Like
the
the
only
Kiko
one.
ones?
Yeah, that's about the
Astrophytum
only one
Kiko?
that's really over here.
Oh, okay.
You get a few of the variegated Mysterious and stuff, but yeah, you don't really see too many.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Super Komodo and
Yeah,
some of those other ones that have been around for
Right.
a long time, but all the
Right.
new ones that you see,
no.
not
Yeah.
over here.
So we know what to bring next
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
Keith.
Yeah, I'd love to get a bunch of those new Astrophytum hybrids.
Yeah. Because I was just telling him that we got a lot of our cactus from Thailand, so
Yeah.
it's really more of the variegation,
Yeah.
the stuff.
Yeah.
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 And here it's more of like the pure specimen ones, the cultivars.
Yeah.
Oh, those are big ones.
Yeah. Yeah, those are the ones everybody wants.
Yes.
We're starting to get a good amount of seed off of them now, so we should have quite a
Okay.
few coming up.
That's easy because they also give out pops.
Yeah. The biggest problem we have with these is the mice like to see.
Ooh,
So if we don't get to them right away, the
Right,
mice will
there
eat
you
them.
So it's a who's in first?
Yeah.
Oh, so you got this one again here.
Yeah.
Everything seems to be taller than you, Keith.
Yes. That's not hard to do.
Yeah, this is the dangerous aisle.
Oh, this one is also Pachypodium, right? Or
Yeah.
no. Mammalarias. It's very hard to grow Mammalarias in the Philippines
Yeah,
because they're
probably
very
too
sensitive
humid.
to
Yeah.
humid. Yeah. So if you can get one to clump, you're gonna win a competition.
Here's a crested mammallaria pomosa.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the first. I've never seen
I
one.
know. And that thing has grown crazy too in the last couple of years. I mean, 3 years ago it was big.
So I'm not sure how you repot them, or
It's going to
do
be a
you,
challenge.
do you ever
These
repot
haven't
them?
been transplanted in years. 'Cause
Years.
We just don't have the room.
Yeah,
I mean, it would take up twice this much table space to do it.
right. This one is nice too.
Yeah, I believe that's either microtheli or lenta.
The Ariocarpus are crazy blue. So sometimes it will just go crested and then go back straight again.
Yeah.
You'll just never know.
Yeah. And here's one of those with the big sides of phalons on it.
Yeah. So he's really doing it on the side.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, the one everybody
That pro.
wants. Yeah.
yeah. Oh my gosh. These are rare in the Philippines. And we usually just, see one of this with two pops, not
Yeah.
like you have it in a dish right here.
And these are small compared to the original mother plant that a lot of these came off of. I mean, the thing is, this big. It's
Wow.
a huge clump.
This is just heaven here. This one's Duvalias? Or with a stinky flowers, right?
And now that's actually Nepotia family.
Oh, it's an Opundia. I thought it was something from the Asclepia.
Yeah. It does kind of look like it a little.
Yeah. Oh, so you got your crest collection here?
Some of them, yeah. You got your crested Echinocactus grusonii,
Uh-huh.
and then these are crested Pachyceras pringlei.
Do you also do grafting of some sort?
A little
or
bit,
no?
yeah.
A little bit? How old is this one? 10, 15 years?
It's probably 20,
20?
25 years old. Mice got to that one.
This one is a bit different though.
It's a cross between.
Vestaria?
I think it's a cross between truncata and something else. I'm not sure which
Okay.
one.
Are these flowers?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Super hard to pollinate.
Variegated bear pose.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, I'm touching them. And for Haworthias, we usually get them from Taiwan
Okay.
or from Japan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the Horthy is big in Japan.
Yeah. Yeah. And they like do auctions and stuff.
Yeah.
Wow, this one. Eonu?
Yeah.
They're in nice form. Those are very big litups. We can't get litups that big
yeah?
back in the Philippines. Yeah. Oh, crazy.
Yeah, it's doing fine in the morning.
Yeah, right on time.
Yep.
And then they'll just close again after, before dark, right?
Yeah. Yeah, these are also big in Thailand.
Yeah, adeniums.
That's
Yeah.
where all the seed comes from that we started these plants.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? So you have them shipped here?
Yeah.
From whom?
Oh.
Because this is where I started my collection with succulents.
Oh, okay.
And then it eventually evolved to cactus. So, yeah. But there are a lot of breeders in Thailand for adeniums, and they have like the huge codex,
Yeah.
right?
The problem with these are supposed to be a lot of the newer hybrid, different color flowers and stuff, and none
Yeah.
of it came out
Yeah.
that were correct.
Really?
No, I haven't got a one that came out the way it was supposed to.
It was supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess certain breeders do have better with how the hybrids come out.
How that was going on.
That's a small one. We got some more down there. a little
Ah,
bit.
really? The bigger ones?
Bigger ones.
Hello. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Having a good time.
So much of a good time. You can
Add
get
a little
enough of
water
it.
to
Yeah,
it.
thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Hi, Brian.
Hi.
You got any pictures with you over the pergola?
One.
One. with as much as you got so far.
You can't see everything, but most of it, yeah.
Nice, show me. Wow.
We still have to put a wrapper in between each one that's up right now. And we still have to do the very last section. Behind the slide. Need to get a longer 4x6. We want to make it a little wider.
How do you have to say about all that?
So, these types are the ones that you'll probably see in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Yeah. And those most probably came from Thailand.
We could have sold 2 or 3 of these today. The plants in the greenhouse.
Oh, I'm sure.
Waiting for these to get well rooted.
No, we're probably going to keep cutting off these. Like 6-inch cuttings off the tips off all of them.
Do not water. So how often do you water it?
Well, these we just got shipped in from the wholesaler.
Oh,
They had
okay.
no roots.
No roots yet?
So we don't
Okay.
want to, because if you overwater
Yeah.
them, they're still rooting, they'll rot out.
Yeah, right.
So there's the bigger ones.
Yeah, the bigger ones. I thought it was the Wistolinaires.
That's
this one, right?
This is Pseudolithos.
Pseudolithos, yeah.
Yeah, Pubiformis.
Yeah. Which is illegal in I forgot which country. Somewhere in Africa, I know.
Oh, yeah?
It's sacred for them, yeah. They're saying that you can't take it out of their country unless they're gonna be if they find out.
Yeah, they're starting to get more strict with a lot of that.
Especially here, right?
Yeah.
Unless you probably need a special permit before you can.
Yeah, you can't take anything out of the desert anymore unless they're gonna bulldoze it for housing or roads or something like that. Then
Okay.
they'll let people come in and collect them
Okay.
or rescue them before they do that.
Okay. And then most probably they're going to call out nurseries like yours to
They
do
usually
it,
try
or?
to call on the cactus clubs,
Okay.
like the
Gotcha.
Tucson Cactus Club or the Phoenix Cactus Club.
Uh-huh.
So
Okay.
all their members will come out and they'll dig them up, and then they'll have a sale, where they'll sell them to the public.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And then the money goes to
and money goes to the club.
the club.
Yeah.
We have zero desert.
Yep.
I think the cactus and succulent industry in the Philippines is starting to boom. I think it's going on its third year now.
Okay.
So we're just keeping the momentum going.
Yeah.
So do you have like a second greenhouse?
The one you were in and then this one.
Okay.
Just the two greenhouses that we have.
Right. Oh, so these are the adeniums.
Yeah. Yeah, they're starting to drop the leaves for winter. They'll pretty much go leafless through our winter.
Yeah.
Unless it's a warmer winter and it stays a little bit warmer, then they might keep some of the leaves.
Right. I'm always struggling with spider mites on this one.
We are
you?
right now because they just harvested the almond trees.
Mm-hmm.
And when they do that, they just make dust clouds that cover everything, and it's
Okay.
full of spider mites. So this time of year, they
Yeah.
pretty much destroy the leaves.
Right. I always struggle with spider mites there. Are you still good?
Yep.
What's this one?
See Euphorbia?
Oh,
Not sure which variety.
that's right. Yeah. So you still have quite a few of this, the Millii.
Yeah.
They have one right now, and they are trying to. It came from Thailand. They have the spineless ones.
Yeah. We have one spineless
Oh,
one
yeah,
here
one?
somewhere.
And then they have bigger leaves.
Yeah. Those are all of our big obeses. We get all of our seed off of.
This one. How long have you had this?
Years.
Yeah.
Probably 15, 20 years.
Just won't let stop.
Yeah.
That one's laying on the bench because it busted the hanger.
Oh, it
so-
had too much weight.
Yeah. It was over there, and it, when something that big breaks and it lands on top of whatever it lands on, it just
Oh, yeah.
smashed with everything.
What's this one?
Ficus palmeri.
Ooh. Ficus, the rubber tree group?
It's in the same
yeah.
family.
It's in the same family?
Yeah. It's a rock fig.
What?
Rock fig.
Rock fig?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is Euphorbia symmetrica, so they stay shorter than the obesa.
Which one?
These?
These ones?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's not obesa?
No. So the obesas get tall, and
Yeah.
the symmetrica stay short.
Oh, okay. So how would you know?
You don't?
You don't?
Until you see the
Yeah.
Until you
Yeah,
see
until you see an older
okay.
one. You got a lot of Aztecians
Yeah.
up there. And here's a crested Myrostigma Azuka.
Ooh, Avonia.
Yeah.
Sernoi? Were you able to get some from Sernoi?
Yeah, I got one of those. Yeah.
I think he hybridized that himself. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What's this one?
That is Euphorbia melodii.
Yeah, Melodia.
So there's the big ones.
Oh, yes.
Hello, everybody. Glad you could make it. My name is Kaylee Ellen, and welcome to the Rare Plant Shop. You may or may not have seen the tour that I did for you guys last year. Back then, I probably had around about 1,000 plants, I think. This year is a little bit different. We've scaled up considerably, and we're now sat at around somewhere between 6,000 and 7,000 plants. So there's quite a bit more in here than what you saw last time. Anyway, there's a ton of plants that we probably have to get through, so I think it's best to just start showing you around. This is the first aisle in the shop. There's quite a lot in here, and I'm not going to be able to show you everything that's up here because I'm not tall enough, and I think we would be here all day. So I'm going to do my best to simply show you things that we can get to from eye level. But in this aisle, we mainly keep Anthurium. That's quite a recent addition. We've done a lot of rearranging recently. We do have Monstera on this side. Yeah, it's kind of all over the place, but I will start probably from over here. So we'll start with this tray right here. This is as good a place as any. This here is Syngonium Pink Splash, and you will notice a lot of color differences in the leaves. Leaves such as these here, these much paler ones, these were basically present on the plant when we got them in. Since then, because I've had these quite a while now, I think I've had these 3 months, easily 3 months, probably more, the new leaves are growing in this really cool, color-popped pink color. Like, it's not just pink and green anymore. Like this leaf here, for example, it's a total wash of pink, and I think that they're really thriving in here. I think they really enjoy being in here, and generally I grow Syngonium in here quite well because I think they just like the light a lot more. This here is Philodendron Florida Beauty. There's quite a few plants in here, and to be honest, they're pretty unruly because we use them as mother plants. So what we tend to do is we let them grow, we let them do their thing, and then we take head cuttings and then we root those. So you do have a plethora of leaves in different states. This one here is very pretty. This is brand new, it hasn't even hardened off yet. Really, really nice. It's almost half and half, but it's still got some flecks throughout. It's just generally looking really cool. Some of these are bright yellow, not so good. We don't like that so much because we need a good balance of variegation to keep things just generally healthy and growing. So this one here is probably gonna have to get cut back a little bit. So there's a little job on my to-do list once we're finished. Here we have a boatload because there's actually this tray and this tray. This is Anthurium crystallinum. This is a very, very recent import as of a few days ago. So being brutally honest with you, they look great now, but they're probably not gonna look great forever. They may drop some leaves, they may look a little bit nasty. They may go back to stumps before they come back and look beautiful. So these plants here are probably gonna remain with me for quite a while. They're really, really beautiful though. Really, really pretty plants. They're one of my favorite Anthuriums. I think they're absolutely fantastic. They size up really well. I just love them to death. That's probably why I have 2 trays, because I love them so much. So obviously here is more of the same thing. Down here, because obviously we have more than just what is in front of me, this here is Philodendron Paraíso Verde. It's a really interesting plant. It's not for everyone though. It does grow pretty gangly. So the petioles on the plant can be quite long. It does have a lot of aerials in this case. But the cool thing that most people like about these plants is I don't know how you describe it. They have like this mint, mottly kind of vibe to them. As I say, it's not for everyone, but I think you either love it or hate it. These are really, really good and they grow so quickly. They're probably growing a little bit too quick for me to be able to propagate them, if I'm completely honest. So my honest opinion on this plant is it's fantastic and it grows very, very quickly. So if you're looking for a quick grower, I can totally recommend them, to be quite honest. Down here, this is a really interesting tray. We have a mysterious one missing from the bottom. I don't know when that happened. There's like one missed. But this here is Anthurium forgetii. Really, really gorgeous plants. They don't size up too quickly. So if you want a smaller one, I think these can remain with you a lot longer before you seem to have any space issues or anything like that. One of my favorites. They're unique in the sense that you don't get any ears on the plant here. The top of this just remains really round and disc-like. So that's the coolness that you get with these. That's what makes them unique and what makes them very, very beautiful. There's some more crystals. We needn't talk about those. Here we have a little bit of a mixed bag. These plants, these large boys here, are Anthurium magnificum. Really good growers as well. Love those. Again, these are recent imports, so being totally transparent with you, while they look really sexy now, they may not stay this way. They may drop leaves. They may go back to a stump. It is what it is. Moving on from that, we have a new plant that I've never brought in before. This is a new one for me. It doesn't look its best. There's a little bit of moss on the leaves there. But this is what I think to be Anthurium debilis. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but that's what they are. I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these. Now, I normally do this when I don't really know how a plant is going to behave. I do this to test out if the plant is tough, if it's going to die on me, if it's really viable for me to propagate and keep and just generally live with. If it's not viable, then I won't buy any more. So we will see how this goes. Maybe I might get more, maybe I won't. It really depends. Obviously, we have some more Anthurium forgetii there that have kind of overlapped from the last tray. Down here, we have a few things. Looks like we have a few more crystallinum here. We have some more forgetii here. These 3 on the front are what I think to be Bessii Ath. Again, this is a new thing I'm bringing in to see how they fare because I don't know how they're going to do. These, again, recent imports, so they are turning slightly. This one's doing better than the other 2, actually. This one's not looking as good, but this one's definitely veinier. So when these grow back, it could be really interesting to see how these do. While my cameraman's already on his knees, I will show you this tray. Honestly, this is an amalgamation of totally different Anthuriums. Some of them are grown from trunks. It's really a mixed bag. Like over here, I have some Anthurium peltigerum that are recently, imported. So again, we have a lot of transit damage. We have some leaves that are probably going to go, which is a real shame because this is a really cool Anthurium. It's a little bit like forgetii, only it's quite rubbery. So it's still round along the top, but you get some more, I don't know, you just get some more chunk with it. So it's a really cool one. Not the easiest ones to take care of though. They can be a little bit finicky. But yeah, mixed bag. There's not much to say about it. Some things are still rooting. Some things are now being left out in the air to create foliage. This is, it looks like Magnificum, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Magnificum here. There's an old leaf. It's growing well. It's growing a new leaf. That's all looking really, really good. If I come up here, it looks like we have some Regal in this tray here. I think it's all Regal. I think this is one tray. So we have some new foliage coming in. Again, this is a recent import. So what you see here may not look excellent in a few days. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I honestly find it just depends on A, the plant that I brought in, and B, just the entire shipment process. So was it delayed? Was it too hot, too cold during the shipment? So much can affect it, it's almost pointless to guess, to be honest. So moving on up here, now these are almost ready to leave me. Obviously there are some old leaves with some transit damage on, but generally these, health-wise, they are ready to start going out. What I tend to do is that the more recent stuff, I tend to store at eye level. So all of these are more recent. And then as we move up through the shop, things that have been with me a little bit longer that are closer to, unfortunately, leaving me, they get moved up so we can focus our attention on the things that need more attention. And that's how we work out what's ready to go out. So these here, this is Anthurium warraquinum. This is a beautiful leaf, actually. I've only just noticed this. This is a lovely long thin boy. He's really, really pretty. Next to that, these have been with me a really long time. This is Anthurium crystallinum in all of its beautiful glory. These are probably ready to go out on the next run, I think. I think they've been with me long enough now. They've been with me several months. There is a slight story to these. It turns out that these were actually lost in transit for about 3 or 4 months, which I know seems a little bit crazy, but they really were. It just went missing. I think it was in the height of COVID and everything else. It was one of several boxes that went missing. But we got them, we rehabbed them. They're finally now in a state where they're growing and they're more ready to leave, basically. So I'm really, really pleased that we were able to save those. So here we have a lovely little tray of more Anthurium forgetii. I mean, if that doesn't do it for you, I don't really know what will. Oh my God, that's so gorgeous. Next to some really beautiful, really big Anthurium regale, and these are such pretty plants. The veining on these guys is really unique, and I nearly always find with this plant specifically that no regales are the same. I always find that the leaves just present that little bit differently with the veining. They're just not, I don't know, they're just not as consistent as some other plants. So you can really get some really interesting ones the more you look around. Like this one on the left and this one on the right, I would honestly say they're presenting a little bit differently to me. Maybe it's my eyes, I don't know. I feel like the veins here are a little bit more downward pointing and the veins here are a lot more lateral. So you get a really good variation on the different leaves, and I love that. So down here, a little bit of a scenario where we're basically growing out some seedlings, and they've gone through a little bit of a hit. They're not the strongest of plants. We have some absolutely stunning Anthurium forgetii, same as the ones further up as well. These are just babies. We also have Anthurium, I think it's Villanoarum. That's growing quite well. These have had a little bit of a journey, as you can probably tell, but I think they're kind of stable now and they're growing much, much better. They've kind of taken off now. I believe at some point I had crystallinum. I think this one here might be crystallinum. I have a few different things, but I think generally that might be it. I don't know if this is crystallinum. I think the tag says it is a crystallinum, but it doesn't look like one to me. That's interesting. Probably keep that there for a while until we figure out what it is. So, along this aisle, there is a lot to get through, can you tell? So along this entire shelf here, I'll just let my cameraman kind of pan backwards and forwards. This is Monstera aurea. So everything on these three shelves is essentially yellow variegated Monstera. We do have a couple of large form variegated Monstera, so the one that grows super large, and I'll show you an example later on. We do have a couple of these growing in amongst them. We know which ones they are because they've all been labeled, so we just tend to keep them here just to kind of check on them. They're growing pretty well. This tray here is very recent propagations from all of these along here. So these are doing really well. We do have, technically, we have a couple of elbows in with them, like this one, Ray back here. That's an elbow. I just kind of filled up the tray with them because I saw some additional ones that I could have taken off some other plants further down, and I popped them in this tray. But they're growing really, really well, to be honest. There's virtually no failures on them, which is really nice. This here is obviously all aurea. It's got admittedly various levels of variegation. Some plants are doing better than others. For example, this one's fantastic. This one is not so much. So it's just a case of monitoring them, clipping them down when they need to be, and everything else. So I'll move on to these bottom shelves. This here is, honestly, this needs really like trimming up. It's a bit ridiculous. Here we have some Syngonium mojito, just sort of popping in and, you know, everywhere. And amongst that, we have some really beautiful Syngonium albo. This probably needs moved. I do have a proper tray for this. So this entire tray really needs sorting out. I think I've even got some yellow here. There's this, and I think there's another one in this tray. I think there's one further over here at the very back that's actually got yellow variegation. It just needs sorting out. It's a little bit unruly. I think it's been like this for a while now. Next to that, again, a little bit more of a mixed bag. We have a few things in here. This obviously is Paraiso Verde. This here is a really random Syngonium albo that's actually looking beautiful. That's a really nice balance of variegation there. After that, we have a really random Philodendron Burley Marks variegata in there. And the thing that is my favorite is this here. Now, this doesn't look fantastic. Again, this is Philodendron McDowell. It's not Pasterzanum. It is different from that. So these are the leaves that were there when I got the plant. These are some of the new leaves. And quite honestly, I'm debating moving these plants because I feel like they're getting too much light. They have been fed. So the colours that you see here, it's not that. I do think it's light. I think that they might just be getting too much. That's honestly why I haven't taken this leaf off here, because I feel like it is actually providing some shade. But yeah, I think they need less light because I have one of these upstairs and it's doing much better and the lighting isn't quite as harsh. So I think I might move those. Those might not live there. We have more aurea in here. We do have some random stuff. This is Xanthosoma Mickey Mouse. And in all of that, you may be able to see, this here is Monstera Burley Marks Flame, and I know it's small, but it's all we have. This is such a slow grower. I can't even tell you how slow this grows. It's not even funny. So it's not a quick grower. It hasn't even started to fenestrate yet, but I'm really pleased to have it, and it's healthy. It's doing fine. I think it's just one of those plants that just don't grow quickly. It's not like a typical Monstera, because normally Monstera grow really quickly. That ain't it. That's really not even remotely applicable to this plant. These, I think, are getting a little bit too much light right now. This is just a general amalgamation of Philodendron luxurians Choco Red. They look like this. The red backing can vary a little bit according to light conditions, but generally this is what they look like. They're very cute. They're looking a little bit gangly because I've chopped the hell out of them to propagate from them. So later on you might see some propagations kind of knocking around the shop. On here, I'm going to talk about this because everyone asks me about it. This here is Alocasia zebrina reticulata. It looks very similar to an Alocasia zebrina, except it displays this really weird, I don't even know how you'd refer to that. I want to let you know that it is actually part of the plant. It's not viral, it's not ill, it's just, this is generally how it is. It just chills like this. So this is the only one I've got. It lives here at the minute. It does need repotting. I need to kind of do that. That's on my list. This here, oh God, I wasn't going to talk about this, but I feel like I can't not now because it's kind of on camera. This is Philodendron Burley Marks Fantasy. It's not doing its best. Honestly, I need to propagate it. I need to grow it properly. I just haven't had a lot of time recently. I've been very busy. So this needs sorting out, but at least it is growing, I guess. We have a nice little vine going. This is not a good example of the plant. Basically, you need to imagine this leaf here that's in my hand much bigger. And that's essentially how the plant grows, just a bigger version of that. They're really, really cool. They have like a kind of blue-green appearance to them. I really love them. I just really need to grow it bigger because that's not ideal, is it really? So this is the second aisle. There is a lot in here. We have, obviously, that's the other half of the Aurea. We have some various philodendrons, some Monstera, some Thai up here that I will probably not be able to show you when we go round. Philodendron Jerry Horn, Philodendron Mexicanum. I think there's some Syngonium albo, some more Pareso up there. There is a lot. There is even more Jerry, even more Florida Ghost. There is a whole ton of stuff above me, but for now, it's probably a good idea to just focus on what is at eye level. So I'm going to skip this because we've done this section. We know what they are. This here, I should say, is essentially all of my Philodendron gloriosum. Now, I'm pretty sure there's different forms of gloriosum in here. Some of them are brighter than others in terms of veining. Some of them have pink backs. Some of them are darker. There's kind of a mixed bag. So I have a lot of these here that are my mother plants. And down here, the ones that aren't looking so good, these are actually propagations. Actually, I'm saying this now, I do actually have more propagations in the shop. I've just noticed them off camera, but it's in the other aisle. But I've got more than this. I've just remembered I've got more than this. But yeah, these aren't looking so great because they're brand new propagations, and I was expecting about 50% of them to turn a little bit. You might notice some intruders in here. I think this is Philodendron Plougmanii. Again, hasn't done so well with propagation, but it's okay. Some of them are growing a new set of leaves. This one, for example, that's on its way in. That's looking very, very beautiful. It's kind of hit and miss. Like this gloriosum here is doing fantastic. You know, this gloriosum here is not. Obviously, it just depends kind of how it goes. This is a different type of gloriosum, I believe, because if you look at this and this one has much brighter veins than this one. So I'm pretty sure that's a different type. This one here is clearly pink backed, as is this one here. These are all propagations as well. So again, if they're not looking super amazing, that's probably why. They're just kind of establishing at the minute. So here, this is ridiculous. This here is Monstera esqueleto, and there's a lot of it, to be honest. I think this is a full tray. We do have some, again, some random intruders further back, but generally speaking, this tray is Monstera esqueleto. Now, this was known as Monstera epipremnoides, maybe about a year ago, 2 years ago, something like that. It's not anymore, it's known as esqueleto. Some of these are propagations, some of them aren't. It actually depends. This leaf is kind of hiding an awful lot of them, to be honest. There's most of them. So some of them are looking a little bit tired because perhaps they've been the leaves that, you know, the plant has been shipped in with and everything else. But the leaves we're getting, these nice dark ones, they're coming in quite nice. So I'm pretty happy with those. What else have we got? I'll stand this way. This here is a tray of philodendron Burley Marks Fantasy, and honestly, I really need to get the scissors out and have a little chop at this because a lot of this is reverted. Again, if I show you the sheer extent of these plants, it's a little bit ridiculous. Look at that there. That's a lot. That's a lot of work. That's like an afternoon just to sort out this one plant here. There's an awful lot. So yeah, I need to chop these back. I mean, this one here has definitely got a lot of green on. Not completely, because that one there's come back variegated, look. So that one's fine, but these are green. So who knows? I need to chop this. Some of these here are great. You know, it's really a mixed bag of plants here, I would honestly say. It needs some work, should we say. Down here, I'll quickly move down here. This is, what is it? It's philodendron Jerry Horn. Again, a lot of these are old transit damaged leaves, but I do leave them on because it helps the plant grow, of course. They're still healthy leaves, they can still photosynthesize, all the rest, so I do leave them on. This is a really cheeky philodendron Prince of Orange. That's supposed to be orange. I think I cut it off a mother plant that's now on the living wall, which I'll show you in a bit. And I just propagated it, so now it's growing. And that's why that's there. We'll do this tray here, why not? I can't really mention that, that's just kind of just unruly, isn't it, really? Not much point mentioning that. I think that's philodendron Florida bronze up there, but as I say, I can't even touch it, so there's not a lot of point talking about it. So, this tray is really interesting. We have a lot of stuff in here. So, these here are baby Anthurium regale, as it happens. These are growing really, really well. I've had these a while. I think I got these in before Christmas. And if you look here, they're growing so beautifully. Like, I'm really, really proud of these. So we have these here that are kind of dotted about. We have what looks like a cheeky choco red there, propagation that's growing really well, clearly. We have some baby gloriosum that are just chilling. What else we got? I think that's glorious. I don't think that's actually gloriosum, that one. I'm pretty sure that's glorious. We have some other unnamed props, some more choco in kind of like a pot in there. We have this guy right here that is part of this plant here that I'm kind of cupping together. This is Philodendron linamii. This is super, super rare and it's super, super awesome. You can't really see why it's awesome right now, but when new leaves come in, they come in like this gorgeous hot pink color, and then over time they fade down to a green color. So it's really pretty, it's just not shown in all of its glory right now. And the thing that, I don't fully know what it is, but we do have a name for it here. We call this guy here Mysterious Dark Boy, because he's dark and he's mysterious, because we don't know what he is. There's been many theories as to what he is, and the theories have changed as he has grown, because right now he's presenting himself to look an awful lot like Anthurium mudinum. Just the way he's kind of, I mean, if I turn him around, he's just really sexy, he's really dark, he's really interesting, and the leaves do stay dark for a while. This is an older leaf and it's still just as dark, look. That's exactly the same color. This is an older leaf, so that's gone more green, but he's just awesome, but I can't actually tell you what he is because we're not quite sure. It's definitely got to have mudinum in it, I think. It's just a question whether it's full mudinum or it's a hybrid. The person that sold me this plant didn't know. I think the person said that they were quite strongly leaning towards the fact it was a hybrid. I don't know. Answers in the comments. We're really not sure at this point, to be quite honest. Oh, some mixed bags down here. Really mixed bags, actually. This, as you can probably tell, is Philodendron Pink Princess. These are doing so much better than what they were, despite being smaller. So when I got these, the leaves were, I mean, they were like this. They're essentially just green. If you look at the bottom of the plant, you can see, and it's not just this one, it's others as well. But as it's grown, it's finally got its mojo back and it's putting out a lot more pink. So that's really, really nice to see. Next to that, for some odd reason, I have Philodendron domesticum variegata just chilling. This one probably needs cut as it's turned yellow. Now, I haven't cut it yet because I was genuinely waiting to see if the growth would survive, because there will still be some chlorophyll in it. And I thought, hey, if I can grow just a yellow one, then cool. But that leaf died off very recently, so I'm leaning towards needing to cut it because I don't think it's going to survive, but I'm kind of hopeful. There is another one behind it as well that is small, but it's growing variegation, so that's good as well. Next to that, down here, I have some Syngonium albo, and I can't remember if these are the propagations or the mothers. I think they're props, so I think there's not long now, sorry, there's pon on my leaves, not long now before they probably leave. I think this is a cheeky little yellow variegated Syngonium. I don't know how that's happened. I guess it was presenting more white at the time. But I think this one's yellow and the rest are white. I do have a cheeky little Syngonium mojito in here as well. I have some, it says there's Syngonium albo nodes. They obviously just haven't really presented variegation, which is a shame, but it's okay because I always pick the best out of, you know, what's growing to kind of pass on. So this here will be the mothers, and I'm sure if I start pulling them out, you can see the fact that I've cut them. Although I'm looking at them now and I can't find any of the cuts. Here, for example, this is where the plant has been originally propagated, and then obviously I've let it grow on. Very soon, this one can be propagated and then planted and then grown on from that. So I tend to keep these here for mothers. I think that's kind of it. I do have some Paraiso Verde up here. As I say, I've got so many things growing in so many places, I'm not even sure what is all the way up there. I don't know if my cameraman can even get what's up there. There's a lot. There's just so much. It's slightly overwhelming, if I'm totally honest. Oh, I forgot about the UPI. Fair enough, I forgot about the UPI. And then a cutting of an Eelmanii as well. So I'll start with the Eelmanii. I'll pull it out because it's easier for you to video that. This here is a little baby cutting of Philodendron Eelmanii. It's growing, it's cute. It's had a little bit of a journey, this one, but it's growing and it's cute. We're leaving it here because it's a bit higher value. Same as the Monstera Burley Marks Flame here. It's in the same place. Similar to that, I have the beautiful Philodendron UPI. This is actually a head cutting of my mother plant, and I lobbed its head off the other day before I planted it. This is a new leaf, by the way, that's why it's paler. This is an older leaf here, and it is huge. I don't know if you can see against my arm, but he's quite a large boy, so I'm really happy with him. I don't know what I'm gonna do with him. I might keep him to be a new mother plant. I haven't decided yet. I might put him on the wall. I don't really know, but for the moment, he's rooting and he's quite sexy. I like him a lot. I think that's it for this aisle, would you say? Yeah? Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of stuff. Let's move on to the next aisle before I lose my mind. So this aisle here is, oh my God. Okay, so it's, I don't know what to call this. I'm going to be brutally honest with you and tell you that there isn't the amount of organization that I would like, and it's a little bit overgrown. So I'm going to explain it this way before I take you down, you know, the aisles that we can see. So right at the top, we have the most amazing Monstera dubia that you can find. It's been there a while and it's just sort of chilling like a tree right now. But if you look at this, if I can just wiggle this, this is a little bit nuts. This here is also Monstera dubia, I think, all the way down these vines here, and it's just running and it's propagating. So really, obviously, I should be chopping these plants right here and planting that and having more dubia. But quite honestly, I haven't really had the time. Same thing for the Dark Lords. This is all Philodendron Dark Lord here. It's absolutely massive. That's a little bit overgrown as well. Down here, again, you can see a really good example of what's going on. This is, again, Monstera dubia, looking all big. I should probably mention, actually, because a lot of people might not know, when Monstera dubia is smaller, it shingles like this. but when it gets mature, because I don't think a lot of people know this, it turns into this absolutely awesome beast here. So it loses all of the silver, and then it just becomes this really long, kind of holy, chunky boy. So it's really quite sexy. But anyway, these have grown so long in the absence of me being able to do anything about it.
Absence of scissors.
Absence of scissors, 100%. But basically, it's grown so much. The aerials, this is aerial root, and it's this long, and let me tell you, it feels absolutely beautiful. That's really therapeutic, that. I like that, it's really, really soft. But yeah, so I need to cut them, is the moral of the story here, and I haven't yet. So they're a little bit all over the place. There's no point in taking the camera right into this bit, because honestly, some stuff is bagged up, it's all over the place, but I'll just pull something out. This here is one of my Monstera obliqua little babies that are growing. It's very, very cute. I'm growing this one in moss. It's just starting to put out holes, so that's really, really sweet as well. I've got some other really random stuff in here, you know, various variegated anthurium, things like that. Some more obliquas down there. Some stuff in bags. This here is a random gloriosum, as it happens. I think that's glorious. It's just, it's a little bit of a mess, I'm not gonna lie. So that's a little bit unruly, that one. Random tie, just kind of chilling. It needs to lift up is what it does. I think I'm gonna propagate this and stick this on the wall, because it's not really helping anybody being here right now. Down here, I should have mentioned this before, this is a mixed bag. It's Philodendron mexicanum here with this beautiful burgundy underside. And then here we have a beautiful philodendron, I think it's lime fiddle. It was sold to me as philodendron golden dragon, but quite honestly, I can see that it isn't that. On closer inspection, there's no way this is golden dragon. This has to be lime fiddle. Still a beautiful plant. I haven't really done anything with it since I brought it in, to be honest. I planted it up in Koya, and I've kind of let it be. But I can see already I'm gonna have headaches, because if I move these out of the way, you can see that, yeah, that's solid. There's plants rooting into other plants, so that's really awesome. That's what we call a day's work, separating them. So that's why we keep it like a bush, because I'm afraid to touch it. So underneath the amalgamation of Debaya, I mean, look at this, guys, seriously. This is an aerial root. Is it off Debaya as well? Well, it must be.
Tie root, that, no?
It does look like a tie root. However, if I shake it... Oh, no, it is. No, you're right. It's a tie root. It's a tie root. That's an aerial root off the tie. That's an aerial root off the tie. So that's a thing. So if you move that back, mixed bag here, we have a really random Aglaonema pictum tricolor just literally chilling. This is some Syngonium that's obviously reverted. I don't know if it was Albo, I don't know if it was Mojito, but it's gone. I suspect it might be Albo, because there's Albo there. This is a really cheeky little Amedrium medium, the green form, I think. This is, why is this here? It's Philodendron Holtonianum, yeah. I don't know why that's there. This will be a reverted Philodendron strawberry shake, as if I pull that back, you can see just how much it's grown. Yeah, I know. That should have been cut a long time ago. Classic example of stuff that just kind of gets missed, I suppose. It's easy to happen in here. It's pretty easy to miss stuff. If it's at eye level, generally, we're good. If it's not, it's up to chance a little bit. So this over here looks not so great. I'll try and move in towards it so my cameraman can get in. This here is, I believe, Philodendron pastazanum white. Am I correct? Yes. Just brought in. That's why it looks terrible. This is turning. So this was brought in maybe a week ago, something like that. So this one's not doing so well. This one is doing a little bit better, but the lower leaf is going. So that's a shame. Of course, I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll grow back. So if I can just get in front of the plants, this is, I know there's so many. I'm literally just backed onto them. This here is a little bit odd looking because we've had this actually bagged up. But this here is Anthurium king of Clarinervium. Very, very special. I don't think we know the parents. It's Clarinervium and something else we don't know, do we? No. Very, very special Anthurium. And I think it's called an F1 hybrid, which basically means it's incredibly variable, the appearance of each plant, because every plant here is the same plant, all of these little ones, and the plants just present very differently. I mean, I say that they look the same. They just, like some of these plants can have, for example, the lobes on the plant are much further apart like this, and they're more handlebar shaped, and then you get some others that are closer together. The markings can be more or less. They can just vary an awful lot, but I'm propagating those at the minute and it's going really, really well. This here, this is quite a long boy actually, if I can manage to turn him around safely. This here, oh, don't want to break the flower. This is Anthurium magnificum. This is basically here because we're waiting to pollinate this little guy. So he's on close watch at the minute, so we can do some magic, shall we say, with some pollen late at night and get it going. So that's why he's there. Sounds so dirty. That's why he's there. We're basically watching the inflorescence to make sure that we get it on time, because there's a very narrow window of doing this and we're quite new to doing it. So that's why he's there. It's a very random tray. Next tray, again, a little bit random. This is some more of the Mexicanum that was down there. This is, again, it's Philodendron mexicanum. And if I didn't highlight it before, they come through really pretty. They get these really nice leaves and they come through really beautiful burgundy. Obviously they're climbers, as you can probably see by the absolute mass of aerial roots. We have, what else do we have in here? We have a really random Anthurium vitarifolium that's honestly a little bit bashed. I think it lived further up previously in a previous life, so it's kind of rehabbing down here. I have a really gorgeous Gloriosum that is, it's basically just got more white veining than a lot of others. If I show all of them, it's not doing the best. As I say, I kind of rescued it from up top, but it's just a lot brighter and it's a little bit different. It's got these secondary veins that you don't often see. So I'm kind of growing him out to see what happens with him. I mean, I'm not going to go into all of it because I have just random chunks sitting here, but I have some variegated subhastatum in there. Just honestly, just loads of stuff. That's kind of a running theme here. One of my favorite trays, this here, it's beautiful. This is Syngonium aurea, which essentially means yellow variegated Syngonium. So it's like the white, only this stuff is yellow. It takes a little bit longer to become super yellow. So when leaves come in, they come in this kind of lime greeny color here. And then when they harden off, they turn into this, which is obviously like a creamy yellow color. Sometimes they can look a little bit more kind of creamy white, but it's really dependent. Like if you pan over the whole thing, you'll see that there's a little bit of variation and you can kind of tell where the new leaves are because obviously they look more lime green, but the more time goes by, they harden off and they get really yellow and really sexy. So this is a mixture, I think, of mothers and props, a little bit of both. Because I don't have so many of these. I don't think these are as easy to get, but I keep them all here. They used to live further back there, but I've moved them recently. And they're looking really, really sexy. And they are genuinely one of my favorites because they're so easy. Honestly, not a lot of point mentioning that. There's just a load of different stuff. If we didn't catch it before, this is all Dark Lord, all up here. So Dubai Dark Lord, that's the most of it, I would say, isn't it really? That's just an amalgamation of that. So we'll come around to this aisle. So I didn't touch on the bottom portion of this aisle when we went round the other way. So this here is variegated Monstera Peru. And I'm going to be completely honest with you, I'm struggling to grow these. I do find that they revert very quickly, and I do find that they're prone to just generally crisping up, you know, any remote problem that you could have with a plant. I honestly feel like I get with these. This one's running though, I've just noticed now, if you can see that. I know it's running, which is great, except if that's anything to go by, it's not really going to be variegated, which is a shame. But I'm doing my best with them. I do feed them. I do monitor the light. I do spray them against, you know, anything bacterial or fungal. It's just, they just hate me. I don't know why, they just hate me. It's not one of my favorite plants to take care of. I wouldn't say it was very easy at all. Down here, this is kind of, again, a mixed bag. We have here some Anthurium macrolobium. This is a hybrid of its pedatum. No, it's not. It's pedoradiatum or pedatum?
Planobium and pedoradiatum.
That's the one. That's it. Thanks, cameraman. And we have some propagations of Monstera escalator. Again, these are really young. You can tell they're kind of going to turn a little bit before they settle. This here, this is beautiful. This is a propagation of philodendron choco red. It's so, so beautiful. We have more than one propagation going here, obviously. What I will say is, oh, that's the back of a leaf, by the way, if you want to know how amazing they turn. These plants are just not easy to propagate, or at least for me anyway. You might have a different experience, but for me, these are really difficult. I struggle with these a lot. I think I've cracked it. Like, I think I found a way to propagate them where I don't have as much loss, but we kind of need to see how they go. So we're kind of watching those at the minute to see how they go. This is not worth mentioning. That's just random stuff in there, I think. A lot of it's stumps, actually. I can't even tell you what they are. They might be chocos.
Yeah, chocos.
They are chocos, cool. This over here is a giant cluster of Monstera Thai constellation. This has actually been with me since the last tour that I did about a year ago. I really need to propagate it. I need to cut it down and regrow it. A lot of this is quite leggy. It just had a bad time last year. I was pretty busy kind of moving shops, so a lot happened. These didn't get the best light, and now they're a little bit leggy. So I need to cut them down and basically give them a new lease of life, propagate some of them. It's just a big kind of mass. To be honest, there's kind of stuff everywhere. As soon as you get to this aisle onwards, I think the whole thing really is just a big mass of stuff that I kind of need to get to, I would say. Yeah, I get to maintain the plants at the other end of the shop a lot more. It's kind of a process where I'm moving my way along and I'm just trying my best to propagate as I go. Yeah, there's not enough manpower to really do it that fast, as you might be able to tell. So it's just a battle, really, of just seeing how quickly I can get through a lot of these props. Case in point, the Thai constellation takes some time to get through. There might be a day to get through that, so there's a lot to do. Moving over here, I'll mention it real quick. This is an absolutely gorgeous Philodendron giganteum. He lives here, and he is giganteum, actually. I've only recently moved him here today. He did live somewhere slightly different, but he's really sexy. I don't know if I'm gonna keep him here, but right now anyway, he's here. This behind me, right here, these are more shelves. I'm actually not gonna talk about them because, to be honest, they're primarily propagations, and as you might be guessing, we would be here all day. So I'm gonna leave these as they are. Just know that they're propagations and there's nothing really interesting happening. But the thing I think you probably do wanna see might be this. This here is, I will stand here for scale. This is my absolutely giant living wall. I've been in your waters. So honestly, I don't really know where to start with this wall, and I probably couldn't cover every single plant on here because there are so many. So that's probably a separate video if you want me to go into full detail on what's on here. So if you'd like to do that, then please leave a request down below and I will be sure to get on that. Until then, I guess the best way to talk about this is just in a general sense. So you may or may not know, I planted this wall, I think it was in September of last year when I moved shops. I documented the entire process of moving from my old shop to my new shop, and I will leave a link to that down below because I have a full playlist if you want to see the entire planting of this whole thing. But I planted this thing last year in September and it's done okay. There is a variety of different things on it. I couldn't tell you how many plants are on it. I couldn't tell you specifics. I just know that we have a few key pieces, I would say. For example, this beautiful Queen Anthurium. This was a very beautiful plant that I unboxed last year as well. I did a whole video unboxing that. That's done really well. It's acclimated quite nicely. Honestly, we have tons of stuff. We have some Melanochrysum up here on the left and the right. We, above that, have some Monstera dubia as well, again on the left and the right. We have a massive mixture of Philodendron gloriosum, we've got, you know, bits of different types of anthuriums, different vining plants that kind of cover the back wall, like Rhaphidophora tetrasperma, more anthurium, more philodendron, some monstera in the middle. Once you come down to the bottom, you have a few different things. For one thing, you have this guy here. This guy we've now decided to name as Tiny Boy because obviously he's tiny. These are one of his leaves, just for total scale on the matter. He's absolutely massive. So that's Tiny Boy right there. Moving further down on the wall here, we have this gorgeous Philodendron plougmanii that's been recently replanted. Here he is down here growing a new leaf. Obviously, different bits and pieces, some more tetrasperma, some more anthurium, Monstera esqueleto, some Philodendron Weeks Red. This is a plant that I really never hear anybody talk about. I don't know why that is, but this is a gorgeous big plant and it has beautiful backs to the leaves. That's an old leaf, so it doesn't have it anymore. That's an old leaf as well. Perhaps on the new leaf, there you go. You get this gorgeous burgundy color up the back of the leaves. Generally, that's what's on there. Again, it would take a hell of a lot of time to go into, but just know that not all of the plants on this wall are absolutely perfect. As you look across the wall, you will see different levels of, I would say, damage or acclimation. When we planted this thing in September, it's been a process, quite honestly. We've had various different issues with the living wall because we've never built a living wall before. So some plants do show signs of damage here and there, but generally, since September, this thing is acclimated really, really well. I would say we've had minimal loss, quite honestly. Most of this is intact. We've just very recently done a patch up of the living wall that you will probably see next week if you follow my channel quite regularly. But yeah, I'm pretty proud of it. It's huge. I don't know how tall it is or how wide it is. So if you pan all the way to the top of the living wall, you will see 3 amazing Monstera debuyers. These Monstera debuyers are growing from the wall and they are now transitioning from your basic shingler plant into essentially a tree. So there's 3 of them up there and I've decided to call them tree boys because they're going to become trees. And at the minute, there's a little bit of a bet on as to which one is going to become a tree first. So essentially what I'm saying is which one is going to grow from being a shingler into, e.g., a leaf like this one right here above my hand. So at the minute, I would honestly say that the guy in the middle is winning. That's middle boy right there. I think he might take it. But then again, the boy on the right, maybe. I don't know. It really depends. It really depends on the water and on the light and everything else. But in essence anyway, that's my absolute giant living wall. As I say, I cannot take you through every plant on here. It would take hours. So that's probably its own video in itself. But it is something that I'm very, very proud of. And it's been really good to just kind of watch the journey of it and watch how it's grown and how it's flourished and how it's acclimated as well since it's been planted. It's been planted for about 6 months now and it's obviously going very strong. So that's a really exciting process to follow. And I think with that actually concludes this plant tour. Obviously, again, it's not every single plant in the shop. That's not really possible. I'm not tall enough. There's too many plants to show you individually. It would just take too long. If you'd like to see a specific tour all about the living wall, again, please leave a comment down below and I'll be sure to do that. If you like this video, please leave a like down below. And if you'd like to see any more of my content, whether it be the living wall, whether it be the shop itself, whether it be any of the other content I make on rare plants, then please feel free to subscribe. Until then, I hope you have a great week, whatever you're doing, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys. It was sold to me as Philodendron Golden Dragon, but quite honestly, I can see that it isn't that. If I actually pull this out.
Thunder.
What the fuck is that thunder? Is it gonna stop? So this over here is, I was gonna call it a clusterfuck.
You can't go. No, that'll be the fucking Nalano over there. But anyway, you carry on.
Yeah, we ain't putting that on camera,
That's a-
fuck that.
carry on.
That's a fucking brilliant. Right, okay. Debilis. Debilis?
Yeah,
Okay.
please.
You good? I know, I'm just giving you time to...
Alright. Carry on.
Okay.
Well, let's smash it then.
Okay. So...
You should clap your fucking hands.
Right, ready? Yeah?
Not yet. I will be in a minute. Go on then.
Are you ready?
I think so.
Are you ready?
I was
Feels
born
like you're not ready.
You not realise that I was born ready. I was born to do this. Born ready to do this.
Alright.
Go on then. Are you ready?
Yeah, I was literally ready. I was gonna move. I was ready. I was ready. Are you fucking ready?
Actually,
You give me vibes like you're not fucking ready.
I'm like proper born ready. You know what I'm saying?
Were you
Always.
stunted? What? You don't seem ready.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Stunted in what
Fuck you.
way?
Well, you're a little short. You're not the same
You're
height as
shorter
me,
than I
bro.
am.
You ready?
I was born.
Swear to God, bitch. Oh, fuck you up. What?
It's a clap.
So these are still some of those same tie that I have left. What is this? What is this? What is this? So I'm gonna have to include it at this point just in case the footage is this disjointed. You're probably watching this in the bloopers, but we have had to stop about 6 or 7 times today because there has been actual thunder and rain. So guys,
Don't get me underpants.
guess who just flew a drone into the living wall? Chopped the bottom of the melano off. Guess who that was?
It was me, but it's a nice clean cut today. We're getting rid of all the
Dude! Oh dude, we fucked it. Look at that, man!
It could have been worse.
No, it couldn't.
It could. Did I get a bit of that as well? Oh, see, that's how near it was. You see?
You're kidding.
That's how near it was.
Ugh.
Exactly.
maintenance, and potting of my succulents.